that's frost. Which means that my plan worked perfectly. Okay guys, you clearly saw it. This morning we had frost. And that means that I'm starting to save the climate. You know, it's getting colder. Because last, I think it was Saturday, 2 days ago, I spent 15 cents on saving the climate. And it's already having effect. It's amazing. And this is why I decided to spend a little bit more money on the climate. And I got more sugar from Aldi's. I have this Sweetland Wonderful World sweets here. Plant for the planet. Trees for climate justice. You know, because social justice is not enough. We now also need climate justice. And I have several bags here. Every bag has a different theme. This is for the penguins. And this is for love and care. The love and care mix. Note the ancient rune that is shown here. It's the symbol of death. Love and care mix with the symbol of death. Fine. What happens if I buy this bag of sweets? You are wonderful. By buying this bag, Wonderful World, notice the casual language anglification here. You know, for you guys outside of Germany who don't know, ever since Germany, Eastern Germany or Middle Germany was reunited with the West, we noticed it in the East that our language was more and more anglicized, you know. Like every year, a little thing in your environment is changed from German to English. And yeah, on this bag of sweets, already the whole front cover is almost entirely English. The only thing that is in German here is below the 15 cent. You see a little bit of German, but the rest of the bag of the front cover is completely English. But anyways, I want to save the planet here, and now I'm going to read to you how I do it. You are wonderful. It's written in English. Now it comes the German part. By buying this bag, Wonderful World, you spend, you donate 15 cents for our united fight against the climate crisis. 10 cents are used for planting new trees, which is amazing. The other 5 cents are used in the education of children for ambassadors for climate justice. So we are training children as ambassadors for climate justice. Because it means in the climate crisis, it says knowledge is power, and the hashtag is believe it. Believe it with F, you know, so put more leaves everywhere. Anyways, we're not training adults who have experience and critical thinking and who can gauge what is happening with a little bit more understanding. No. We are taking children and we are training them. Not to say indoctrinating, but let's say we are training them to be ambassadors for climate justice. Because, you know, in our ideal world, the climate is the same everywhere on the planet. You know, it can't be that some people have sunshine and beaches, you know, and the other people, they are freezing to death. That's not wanted. You know, we want to have exactly the same climate everywhere on the planet, you know. But anyways, what's going on here with this sweets? 84% carbohydrates, 58% sugar, nothing unusual. Plastic bags that pollute the environment even more. But they have a plastic bank. They're supporting NGOs that protect the seas from being polluted with plastic. So nice, you know, by producing plastic, they protect the seas from being polluted by plastic. That's a good thing. That's not contradictory. Also, producing sugar to save the planet. It's funny, isn't it? when I was in Brazil, I researched the history of Brazil a little bit. And if I'm not mistaken, the northwest of Brazil used to be lush savannas. And these savannas were ideal for planting sugar. And funnily, the new invaders of, the Christian settlers and merchants in Brazil, northwest Brazil, in Recife. It was, I think it began as a Jewish trade outpost, but never mind. In this northwestern colony, the traders and merchants, they hunted for Amazonian Indians, and they used them as slaves to plant sugar, sugar cane, and to start the whole sugar industry in Europe. And nowadays, northwestern Brazil is a desert. Yes, it's literally a desert. Much of the poverty in central Brazil, in cities like São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro, much of the poverty in these cities comes from immigrants from the northwest who can't live there anymore because it's desertifying ever more, and there's no way to survive, so they emigrate to the big cities, And never mind, that these deserts were created by sugar plantations. Nice. And now it's moving more and more to the west. The northeast of Brazil, excuse me. Now it's moving more and more to the west, to the Amazonian, and they are deliberately burning down the forest. And it's happening all the time. It's happening for ages that they're burning down the forest in Brazil, It's nothing new. And they are planting soy and sugar and grains, and using it for grazing for the cows. There are more cows than people in Brazil. But anyways, let's save the planet by planting more sugar cane. Let's have a bite here. Look at this amazing dolphin here. It's funny that isn't it funny that this is like a pink dolphin? The cool thing is that in the Amazonian rivers, you actually have pink dolphins, pink sweetwater dolphins. By planting more sugar, these dolphins are exterminated. Okay. Amazing. I love it. I love it. Because it's the love and care mix. That's why I love it so much. It's the love and don't care mix. Oh, also, it's funny that it says down here, knowledge is power, believe it. I don't believe it, that's for sure. I don't believe in the climate crisis. I believe in climate change, it's pretty obvious, but I don't believe in the climate crisis. It says, the climate crisis is threatening our beautiful Earth. Can we save it with gum? Can we save it with sugar gum? Sure, not only by this, but we find that it's a pretty tasty beginning. Only together, we can make it. Only together we can stop or diminish the results of climate change, Together is highlighted, They don't want to convince you to create a one world government and unite all the people under one government and, force every nation to relinquish their right of self-determination. That's not what they want. They want to save the planet, definitely. We want to plant 1,000 billion trees. 1,000 billion trees. 1 trillion trees they want to plant. Nice. This is necessary. This number is necessary to reduce the CO2 output caused by humans by 25% yearly. And this way we can stop the the heating of the earth in time. Otherwise, the earth will perish. Life on earth will cease if we don't unite and buy sugar in plastic bags and plant trees. We are giving us humans a time joker, and can therefore save our future, our future, because we are all just one. We're all just one hive mind. There are no differences between nations and peoples and races. No, that's all hate mongering. If you say that another race is different from you, that's hate mongering. Don't say that. We are all the same. Remember, we have to unite to save the planet. Yield your self-determination to the great overlord, I'm just wondering, if we all unite to save the planet, if we form one global government, who's going to be in charge? Is it going to be democratically elected, or is it going to be chosen among a very specific group of people? I don't know. One thing is for sure, I will not be in charge, and neither will you. And the guy going to Aldi here, buying his poisoned food and sugar stuff. Anyways, what more? The penguin. The penguin is dying out, along with the ice bear, because when it's getting warmer at the North Pole, that's pretty tough for the penguin, isn't it? I don't know. I've seen penguins in the zoo, and I've seen them in summer when I was a child, and still today, and they were pretty fine there, in the zoo. They were pretty happy. So I don't think that the penguins are gonna suffer all that much if it gets a little bit warmer in Greenland. Did you ever wonder why Greenland is called Greenland and not Whiteland? Because the North Pole is pretty white, it's full of ice and snow. But why is it called Greenland? Is that because it used to be green and full of trees and flowers and plants and used to be warm and fertile? Maybe it was. But when was it green and fertile? It was when the planet was full of gigantic jungles, and it was at a time when the Earth climate, the Earth atmosphere had a lot of CO2, and in that climate it was very warm, which was very beneficial for plant growth, and there was much more water in the atmosphere because of the less ice, and more water, more warmth means more rain, and more CO2 means there's more resources for the plants to grow, because when a plant grows, it produces O2, oxygen, which is nice for breathing. And it takes from the CO2, the C, which is the carbon, and with this carbon, it actually builds the plant, So the tree, for example, it doesn't grow out of the earth, it takes certain nutrients from the earth. But the core substance of the tree trunk is just carbon taken out of the air. That's just a little side note here. And then it reduces the CO2 in the atmosphere, and when it decays, it creates bogs, and swamps. And in these swamps, more and more plants accumulate, and these become turf. Then they become brown coal, surface coal, and they become stone coal. And then they become eventually oil or diamonds, which is all carbon, and it's saved. It's basically stored in the earth crust, and if we burn it, we just restore the climate to its ancient state, nothing else. So I'm not against that. I find that pretty nice, especially for Germany, because it says, the humanity will suffer, our living space will be threatened. One thing's for sure, the living space of the Germans will not be threatened. It will be very much alleviated. We won't have that hard of a winter anymore. We are much more independent from Russian oil imports, and we can use our gigantic amounts of coal that we have for the next 10,000 of years. we can use them, we can turn them to fuel, we have the technology for that, and we can have pretty cheap fuel here, and it's gonna be really nice because we don't have to bomb other countries to deprive them of their oil. Isn't that nice? It's so amazing. For the Germans, a very peaceful time will come when our country is extremely powerful and independent. Food independence, because we can harvest several times a year, so we have food independence, we have energy independence, and we will be pretty much powerful and invincible, and we will create an amazing, beautiful country, all built in a sustainable lifestyle with our own sheep wool, with our own flax plantations. We won't have to import these cheap cotton clothing here that I still wear occasionally. You know, this is my last cotton pullover, but soon I will also get rid of this one, and then I will only have wool from Germany, you know. And with this local nationalized way of living, we will be very, very, very friendly for the environment. We will allow trees to grow everywhere, you know, because we have much less population, which is nice, you know. If we close our borders and we kindly ask our new, visitors, if we ask our temporary guests who came here, you know, to enrich our lives, if we ask them kindly to go back to their homelands, we will then be very few people because we have a population implosion. And with these very few people, we have a lot of space. There's a lot of room for everybody, a lot of free housing, you know, and a lot of space for the environment to grow. And, you know, this is just amazing. You know, the future nationalistic, extremely independent and powerful German Reich that is growing here now because of climate change and because of oil shortage that is coming to the world. It will be amazing. I'm absolutely happy for climate change to happen. And it's good, you know. It's good, for example, for many species out there who love warmer climate. You know, they will move north. All these animals that can then thrive in the oceans and in Greenland, you know. I'm so happy for the deer and for the foxes that will be happy to settle in Greenland. And dude, it's gonna be amazing. I mean, wow. Especially here when they say that the penguins are sad because it's getting warmer. The penguins are sad. You know, last time I checked, the penguins, they were, I don't want to swear here, but last time I checked, the penguins, they were freezing to death. You know, they were huddling all together in this extremely hostile environment at the North Pole, and you know, in the darkness of the northern winter, they were all huddling together. And you know, if even one strays away too far away, he dies. He instantly freezes. You know, so in the future, they're gonna have a super nice time. You know, they will finally be able to relax a little bit. You know, and I'm so happy for the penguins. What else? Yeah, Aldi is doing its contribution to fight against the climate crisis, to save the Lebensraum. It says Lebensraum. To save the Lebensraum of the penguins, the ice bears, and so many other animals, and also of us humans, you know, because of course humans all have the same Lebensraum, you know. It's absolutely not that there are like nomadic tribes in Africa who have a completely different Lebensraum and lifestyle than Germans who are settlers and who are, who live in a fixed Heimat and want to build their Heimat over long periods of time. No, they have exactly the same Lebensraum. Now the Africans, they also have to plant, grains and have to do agriculture because, you know, we're all just one. We're just one people everywhere, you know. Let's have a bite of these penguins. Sugar. Sweet down.
Smith and he said